Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And the mainstream media is finally catching on that DEI has taken over the video game industry.
No, you don't say.
Took them a couple of years, I guess, to catch up, but there it is. We've got the New York Post covering DEI in video games, and they're saying that, yeah, they're coming for games because schools are going to lose their DEI here pretty soon.
You talk about colleges?
Colleges,
yeah.
and yeah, they're going to dismantle DEI. And Trump's got a new policy, I guess, that he's going to dismantle that. So now they're coming for your video games. That's how they're going to get your kids through your video games. But this is not new.
Wait, I thought that video games were the gateway to the alt-right. Which one is it?
Well, that's why we have to fight so hard to keep them under the control of the DEI people.
Well, I'm just saying, though, it simultaneously is the gateway to the alt-right, but it's okay if it's the gateway to the far left. You know what I mean?
Pretty
it's
much.
Just like, you know.
Yeah. So let's talk about this, because this is it's going to be really interesting. I did a gaming news roundup earlier today, and like half the stories in the gaming news roundup were DEI-infused AAA titles that have failed miserably in the last, just a couple of months. We've seen so many high-profile failures, and gamers are actually tuning out. They're not buying these games. So I don't know if this is going to be something that's going to last for a long time, or if the market is going to course correct and just be like, yeah, we want people to buy our games. So let's, stop being woke, I guess. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to clownfishminus.com. We got some merch out there. We got some new stuff in there. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much. You can join the Reef, get exclusive content. We got more podcasts and stuff coming. You can also go out to clownfishtv.locals.com where we mirror that content. And so let's talk about this, because I have a feeling that the New York Post, since they're always looking for those clicks, they basically were latching on to the Donald Trump DEI college thing.
But it's probably like, what's going to get views? DEI in video games. And it's like, let's put that together. And everybody else already figured that out quite a while ago.
Yeah, and they're going to talk about Grand Theft Auto 6.
They bring Sweet Baby Inc. up and everything else.
And they bring up Sweet Baby, all this stuff. So, look, I mean, I guess better late than never. But it's also like, where the hell were you when gamers and independent voices in the gaming scene were getting attacked by the Kotakus and the Polygons and the Washington Post and all these other, the New York Times.
Washington Post probably won't do it now.
Yeah, Washington Post probably won't do it now. But like years of this crap where they were, if you push back at all against the DEI in games, you were getting attacked and you're being called chuds and alt-right Nazis and blah, blah, blah.
Doesn't even matter
if
if you're getting called a toxic, misogynistic pig, even if you were a girl. Doesn't matter.
No, it didn't matter. And, people were being threatened, physically threatened. People were being threatened with job loss. They were being blacklisted. But finally, thank God the mainstream media is here to back gamers up. Better late than never, right? So, yeah, it's coming from the New York Post. Donald Trump has vowed to dismantle as many DEI programs as possible when he returns to the White House. Okay. Yet there's one domain where diversity, equity, and inclusion aren't just surviving, they're thriving. That's the world of video games. Yes and no. 2 years ago, yes. Currently, all these games have been released with a bunch of obvious DEI mandate shit in it. They're being roundly rejected.
Yeah, and I think that you're going to see a definite shift. And like I said, you're coming into it too late.
Yeah.
They weren't thriving. They were doing very badly.
They tried.
Hogwarts Legacy. They are not doing well.
No, Concord was a huge failure.
Yes. Dustborn,
Suicide Squad, even the new Dragon Age game did very badly. And
they aren't thriving, guys.
There were a lot of activists that had weaseled their way into the video game industry, and they somehow got handed hundreds of millions of dollars to make these games, these fanfics, and they failed. Now that they're going to market, all this stuff is failing. I said Call of Duty, one of the most iconic gaming franchises in history, recently introduced Rossi, its first non-binary character with they/them pronouns. I'm sure that went really well. Some might dismiss it as mere virtue signaling, but it's part of a far larger agenda. Wow, they really are like...
Where have you been?
Oh my God.
Honestly,
As mainstream media declines, gaming, a market of 212 million U.S. players, has become the perfect platform for DEI tenets to flourish.
But they're not flourishing.
They're coming for your white boys.
It's the gateway to the far left.
It is. It is. Like, look, better late than never, right? But this kind of reminds me of like back in the day when they would do these like exposés on Nintendo addiction and stuff.
They're all going to be Nazis now.
Yeah, little Jimmy's, taking all his lawn mowing money and buying these Mario games, and maybe you spend too much time in front of the TV.
Next thing you know, he's going to be living in a crack house and gambled all his money away.
His hair is going to be blue, and he's going to change his pronouns. DEI ideology took root in universities, and today's game developers are still its natural byproducts. That is actually true.
That is true.
You want to cut the head off the serpent, you want to get to the root of it, you do have to go after the schools. And that's usually what happens.
In the universities. It is big time in the universities.
Yeah, because what happened, and you see this because a lot of the terminology that these developers, that these consultants and stuff are using, it's straight out of academia, right? Mm-hmm. And so they never left school. They get out of school and it's basically more school, but they want school to be everywhere. They want everything to be a safe space and a hug box, and the entire industry to be safe for them. And a lot of them, they didn't really have any other jobs. Like they weren't, bagging groceries or anything. They got out of school and they got into a cushy job at some game company that had way too much money.
Well, I just want to point out real quick, the person who wrote this article clearly has, an opinion on the far right. Why Euro hate speech laws spreading wokeness are bad for civil liberties. And the trans lobby got me canceled for saying skeletons are either male or female, says the professor. Well, the professor's right. The skeletons identified, they are either male or female. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that, but that is biologically correct.
Skeletons don't have dicks, geeky sparkles. What are you talking about?
These people are so stupid, they probably think that.
When you say boner...
Yeah,
oh my God,
it's actually a bone.
Now I'm just picturing a skeleton with like a skeletal penis, and it looks like a little like fish penis.
Someone
or
should
something.
like put that together and then
I'm
just
sure
bury it
has.
somewhere as a joke. Anyway,
bury it somewhere.
Yeah,
bury the bone.
Yeah, the boner. I'm just laughing so hard that they're just now figuring this out. But they really think that it's like, oh my God, guys, it's like a new problem and everybody's accepting it. It's like, but they're not accepting it. And people have been fighting this for a while now.
Like, look, I'm not good at look, okay, yeah, sure, thanks. We appreciate the help, but gamers have been fighting this for years. And
it's called voting with your wallet.
Yeah, and you guys, I mean, really in the last year, if they really were up to speed, if the New York Post, again, mainstream media outlet, they're going to be a little behind the times, right? But if they were really up to speed, they would be looking at all the colossal failures lately. And it's not that DEI is infecting gaming. DEI completely took over the AAA gaming space, destroyed it. And this is why we're having, in part, not completely, but in part, why we're having so many damn layoffs, because the games aren't selling.
No, because people are rejecting it.
Yes. So we're on the other side of it. It's like waiting until like 1946, 47 to report about World War II. Did you know that the Nazis were invading countries over in Europe? Did you know about that?
Did you know about that?
Oh my God.
They're like talking about Pokemon Legends. It said it's accused by Vice of promoting colonialism, which it doesn't. Go down. They're talking about Mario Kart faced allegations of white privilege, despite Mario and Luigi being blue-collar plumbers.
What?
Grand Theft Auto 6 that dropped
this
next year.
This is from 2014. Wait. This article's from like 2014. Like, what the hell? like, guy, dude.
Hey there, fellow kids.
Like, you're like way behind the times here.
They're talking about, the former employee of Rockstar Games hinted that fans might be upset by GTA's new direction.
Yeah, well, that I believe, because people are looking at the trailer and it's like, yeah. All right. So anyway, Donald Trump has made taking on DEI a key component in his next administration.
I think people are gonna. I think DEI is already on the decline before he even gets here because people have rejected it outright. I think the general public is taking down DEI.
Yeah. For DEI advocates, video games are appealing not just for their global player base, but for the amount of hours young, impressionable audiences spend immersed in these virtual worlds.
Well, that's true. I think that's why they target it.
Yeah, well, no, it's exactly.
I agree with them.
It's the same reason that we have activists to do an activism. They want the biggest platform possible. So they're going to go for whatever has the most eyeballs, right? And whether it's, for a while there, it was social media, digital media. And then it was like, well, we can get into the mainstream. We can get, cartoons or movies or whatever. And it's like, oh, video games are even bigger than TV shows now. So we can, or cartoons. So we'll go to the video games. But everywhere they go, they leave pestilence and poverty in their way. Right. Poverty. And then they basically, it's like, because nobody wants this shit, nobody buys it. But then what happens is, unfortunately, the people who just want to put their heads down, do their damn job, well, they're out of work too. So but I think the problem is self-correcting at this point. I think, again, Grand Theft Auto 6 has been in development for a very long time. And if it releases and it lands with a thud, I mean, it was just like Star Wars Outlaws. They were like, oh, Star Wars Outlaws is too big to fail. It's a big game, big release from Ubisoft. It's a big Star Wars open world game. Everybody's going to buy it. Pfft, no, they didn't. It was a huge failure. Huge failure. So, yeah, I mean, if they're smart, they'll stay the hell away from it. So here we go. A quarter of Americans game 3 to 7 hours a week. Another 25% play 8 to 12 hours. And 25% exceed 13 hours. Unlike TV shows, there are no ad break. Well, no, actually, the games are the ads sometimes, and Ubisoft was throwing ads into the games. No pauses, just relentless, uninterrupted engagement.
Yeah, somebody I don't think plays games.
How you do, fellow kids?
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
Sweet Baby Inc., a major player in gaming, may carry a cutesy name. However, the Montreal-based company has been instrumental in spreading harmful ideology throughout the industry.
They've been instrumental in destroying games.
They've been, yes. And look, we're on the other, like, dude, it's cool, I guess, that the mainstream media is covering it. But, like, these battles have been fought already. It's like Sweet Baby Inc., my understanding is they're getting blacklisted, actively blacklisted, and they're not getting more work. And yeah. So they're talking about the games that failed. Alan Wake 2 they didn't really. Spider-Man 2 did okay. It did okay. But yeah, they're talking about Ubisoft, where many Sweet Baby employees once worked, is now doing really awful. Was this the company is committed to accurate representation so much so that I missed this. Their digital recreation of the Notre Dame Cathedral became a critical reference for restoring the landmark after the 2019 fire.
Okay, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Because they used to really pay attention to detail, but then with the new Assassin's Creed, they're like, yeah, China, Japan.
I know, same difference. Same difference.
So now they're going to the Sweet Baby. God, this is just
they're really on the Sweet Baby Inc. thing. Where have you guys been?
Dragon Age: The Veilguard, did not do well. They're talking about trans characters.
Like yesterday, they're saying only like 0.5% identify, but they keep trying to put it in there.
Yeah. So I mean, like, look, the mainstream media covering it. Okay, that's cool. It's going to get more attention to it. Now, here's the thing, because the normies aren't paying attention, right?
Well, yeah, this is how you get the normies to pay attention, because anybody who's been doing games or watching our videos for a while know all about this already.
Yes.
But I guess the normies, the most of they aren't playing games all the time. They don't know what's going on.
And then 5 years later, when it's on Fox News.
This person's clearly a normie. They have no idea what the hell's going on. And they're just like, did you know?
Did you know that games are woke? Did you know? But yeah, so they're just trying to tie it in, with everything that's going on now. But yeah, Trump, this is coming from Axios. Trump is going to focus on getting rid of DEI, I guess, in schools. Nationwide crackdown on it. And there's been a lot of talk of that because, I mean, look, the head of the dragon, if you're against DEI, it is in universities. All the wokeness, the activism, all of that, they basically indoctrinate kids and then they go out into the workplace. They get a job right out of college. They go out into the workplace and they're like, hey, let's just keep doing the activism at work. And then they hire like-minded people.
I honestly think, like I said this every time, I think in the end of the day, even if they had a good idea, noble goal at the heart of it, which I don't know if they did, it has done more harm than good. Even to the people you're claiming you're helping, it has done so much harm across the board. It's ridiculous.
So there we go, guys.
But that's the character on binary. It just looks like someone hit them with a bus. I mean, like they look. I mean, whether it's a male or female side, they just don't look right. Like they look very
doesn't
hit with a bus.
Doesn't they look tired?
The nose looks like they've been broken. They just look like they've
Call of Duty character,
I know,
right?
they look like they've been. Well, there's nothing wrong with the nose being broken. My nose is broken. I have a weird nose too. But I'm just saying,
like your nose.
My nose is broken twice. But yeah, they just look like I don't know, like someone hit with a bus.
That's the video game industry as a whole right now. Just it looks like somebody hit the video game industry with a bus.
Yeah, pretty much.
A Fortnite bus. Boom. Back right over it. Are we going to wrap it up?
Yes.
Let's wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.